All right. So once again, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's call. If you're a guest on tonight's call, we're excited to have you here. We welcome you into our community. We hope that you hear something tonight that gets you really excited about what we're doing together and inspires you to want to be a part of what we're doing. We're talking about cryptocurrency, and we're talking about DeFi in particular. So as we get going, I'm going to go back and share my screen with you, and let's just jump into tonight's presentation. All right, so before we get into the presentation, let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping. I'll read this disclosure for you. All information presented here tonight is for informational purposes only. It's not intended to be a substitute for financial investment advice. The presenter is not employed by the company or a financial advisor. Any presenter's opinions are their own and do not constitute financial investment advice. Of course, past results are not indicative of future results. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we are talking about DeFi, decentralized finance. So we're going to go a number of places today. We're probably going to cover a lot of ground. You're going to hear a lot of things. If you're a guest for the first time or even second or third, then it's okay if you didn't catch it all, because we do this call every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and it's a lot of information. Cryptocurrency as a whole, as a marketplace, is fairly new to all of us. Really just showed up in 2009 with Bitcoin, and it has gotten more and more specialized. And what we are seeing right now, what we're talking about tonight, is the hottest thing happening in cryptocurrency. It is really the reemergence of the true nature of cryptocurrency, which was ideated around the idea of peer-to-peer sharing, for us to be able to do business across the world or even across the street without the need for an intermediary. And so let's establish the space that we're talking about, decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is the emerging financial landscape that is empowered by blockchain. If you don't have your head wrapped around blockchain, do a pretty quick Google search. It'll give you the basics. It's important to understand how powerful blockchain is and why it's transforming the world as we know it. DeFi does not rely on central financial intermediaries such as brokerages, exchanges, and banks to offer traditional financial instruments. And instead, it utilizes something called smart contracts on the blockchain. So the power of DeFi, to understand why this is such an incredible opportunity or project that we're talking about tonight, have to understand how powerful DeFi is. So in the DeFi world, users, you and I, never give up control over our assets, over our crypto. And the transactions are not handled by an independent third party like an exchange, like a Coinbase or crypto.com or Binance or any one of these exchanges. And furthermore, DeFi takes power away from these gatekeepers. Anyone with electricity and an internet connection, that's obviously all of us here tonight, all of us can participate in this new economy. And in 2021, we've seen the rise of DeFi with over almost 53 million billions with a B, US dollars being moved around in the DeFi network. So let's talk about something specific in the world of DeFi called decentralized exchanges. We're just laying the foundation for you so you understand all of the pieces and parts of this project. So decentralized exchanges are, well, before we get into decentralized, let's talk about what a typical online exchange is. So an online exchange is where people can exchange currencies for other currencies. We've seen this happen very commonly in the Forex market. And of course, it's happening all the time in the cryptocurrency markets. And typically that intermediary, that exchange, is represented by one of those that we mentioned. There's all kinds of exchanges. There's over 300 of them now. Gemini, Exodus, Crypto.com, Coinbase are probably the ones that you're more familiar with. But DEXs, decentralized exchanges, are a new type of exchange. And they connect users directly to one another so that we can trade cryptocurrencies without needing a Coinbase or a Binance or a Exodus. We can use our own wallet that's secured by a password that we own and we control ourselves. So let's talk about the challenges. We know there's huge opportunity in decentralized finance, but let's talk about some of the most common challenges. The biggest challenge for DeFi is that right now it's not exactly user-friendly. As it is with just about any technology, when it's brand new, when it's early, it takes a little while for it to get easy enough for mass adoption. And so while that's the case, it's difficult to get your head wrapped around it, which is why I started the call by saying, it's okay if you don't. So we do this call a number of times to help educate and get you familiar with it. So education is going to play a key role in the emergence of DeFi. And that's really why this community and this discussion we're having tonight is so powerful, is because we're gathering together and educating a group of people. Hopefully you're one of them. And we're helping to empower you to take advantage and participate in what's happening in the DeFi world. So it's especially important that folks are educated, because one of the benefits of DeFi is that you have full control over all of your assets, over all of your funds. And it can be a challenge if you're not properly prepared and educated on how to manage your funds in order to avoid being scammed or losing your funds. So being a part of a community of people similar to what we're talking about tonight can help provide the education, give you a place to go where you can get questions answered easily that you might find challenging if you were out on your own. So whenever there are challenges in an industry and somebody comes up with a solution, there are solutions to those challenges that gives people mass access. And we tend to find that it is disruptive. We know about disruptive businesses. We could think of Airbnb and Uber are probably two of the most commonly referred to. Airbnb gave a homeowner direct access to someone who might have otherwise stayed at a hotel, opened up an entire economy to them, removing the hotel as the middleman. So now you and I can simply connect to a person that owns a home, and for a better value than staying in a hotel, can rent out an Airbnb. Same thing with Uber and so forth. So DeFi is really disruptive, and a disruptive technology is an innovation that creates a new market by providing a different set of values, which ultimately, and in some cases unexpectedly, overtakes an existing market. We saw Uber overtake the taxi industry, kind of unexpected unless you were paying attention. So in this case, the innovation is creating a new market, and it's providing a different set of values than what we've been accustomed to in having to go through banks and more traditional institutions. And so this disruption is something that we want to invite you to take a part of, because we know that when there's disruption, when there are disruptive technologies and businesses, there are huge opportunities, especially if you see it early. If you invested in Facebook early, or Uber early, or Airbnb, any one of these disruptive companies, you probably would have done really well. Well, the same thing is happening in the cryptocurrency space. We know as a whole, crypto is disruptive. But even if you dial in a little closer and you look at the world of DeFi, and then you look inside the world of DeFi, you will find a community called Pangu. It's one of the most popular DeFi communities in all of Asia. And this community, what we're going to talk about right now is where we're going for the next few years. It's important to understand where we're going in a couple of years, because we're going to talk about some very aggressive goals for the next few months. And we want you to know that we're planning to be around much longer than that. So in 2021, as I mentioned, we have some very aggressive goals. We're going to build this community from 150,000+ members to over 1 million members between now and December 31st. Then the other thing that we're going to do is drive OSK, it's the community token, from where its current value, which is around $12, $13, up to over $1,000. We're going to do those two things before the end of this year. Then beyond that, in 2022, Pangu community is going to launch its own blockchain and decentralized exchange. And that's really important, because we have incredible projects that will be built because of the power of having an active community that supports, comes together with consensus on what this community is going to accomplish. We'll talk about what that means in a moment. 2023, this thriving community will open itself to multiple projects within its ecosystem. So let's dive into a little bit of the details of what this project entails. So there are two coins at the center of this project. One is OSK, which I just mentioned. That's the ecosystem token for the Pangu community. Its use case is going to show up in the future, much like most of the coins that you're trading now. Don't have a current application in the world we live in, but they are raising capital to build the world that we will live in. OSK is very similar in that respect. So that's the token of the community. It's the token that we're supporting, and it is traded against TRX on a decentralized exchange called JustSwap. So it's important to understand that TRX is a powerful token as well. It's a token of the Tron network. Tron is a blockchain-based operating system that aims to ensure technology is suitable for daily use. So it moves crypto from one point to another, much like Bitcoin and Ethereum's network do. The difference, however, is that with Bitcoin, it can handle up to 6 transactions per second. Ethereum, however, can handle 25 transactions per second. And when it showed up, it was a game changer because it allowed us to move transactions faster than Bitcoin. And now we have the Tron network, which is emerging and becoming incredibly popular because it's less expensive than Ethereum, which has seen its fees go up considerably in the last year. And they believe they can operate at 2,000 transactions per second. And today, Tron is traded somewhere around 6, 7 cents. So these are two exciting tokens that are at the center of our project. So here's what you do. Here's what we're asking you to do when you get involved. We're asking you to purchase the community coin, OSK, and pair it with TRX. We'll talk about what that means and how you do it in just a second. And then we're going to ask you to add it to the liquidity pool. So it's important to understand what a liquidity pool is and what it does. So liquidity pools are a game-changing innovation in DeFi that facilitates trading on the exchange and allows individuals to provide liquidity through a collection of funds locked in a smart contract. If that sounds complicated, let me simplify it for you. Participating in a liquidity pool helps you to become the bank. So on a typical exchange, if you're buying and selling, you're paying fees back to the exchange, and they're making money in all kinds of ways. Now, as a liquidity provider, you get to operate just like those exchanges do and participate in those fees. So liquidity providers are incentivized in proportion to the amount of liquidity they provide. When the trade is facilitated, when the trade happens on the DEX, the transaction fee is proportionately distributed to all liquidity providers. In decentralized finance, smart contracts govern what happens in the liquidity pool. Some smart contracts also incentivize liquidity providers with extra tokens. We might refer to those as airdrops. And this process is called liquidity mining. So now that we have the framework, let's talk about how you actually can earn money as part of this project. So there are 5 different ways. Once you decide to get involved, you're going to purchase. There's no minimum purchase required. So 5 different ways that you can earn by participating with us in this community. The first way is something called Auto Market Maker. Then there are exchange fees, which I just touched on a moment ago. Then there's the TRX value and its increase. And there's OSK and its value increase. And then there is a short window of opportunity to stake and mine NFTs. So let's dive into what each of these mean. So simple definition for the first way is something, Auto Market Maker is basically where a buyer and a seller are matched up. And in a typical market, you need a buyer to meet a seller and they agree on a price and then they exchange currency for value. On a decentralized exchange, an Auto Market Maker makes that deal happen even if the buyer and seller aren't at the same place at the same time. And the spread between the buy and the sell is then shared amongst all of the liquidity providers. So that's the Auto Market Maker, and we make money and we share the profits on all of these trades that are happening on the exchange. The other way that you earn is through the fees that are charged by the exchange. So these, a typical exchange, Binance is a good example as the largest exchange, crypto exchange in the world, charges 0.02% on every buy and sell. On JustSwap, their fee is a little bit higher at 0.03%. So you can see in the example on your screen for a $1,000 buy or sell, the liquidity provider fee shown at the bottom of the screen is 3 Tron. Well, that 3 Tron on the buy and on the sell for every transaction that happens on the network, that's shared amongst the liquidity providers as well. Then, of course, because we're staking, we're involved in TRX, Tron as a token. As you're holding Tron and the value of Tron increases, then you benefit from that. So very much like purchasing Tron and holding it in a traditional wallet, in this case, you're purchasing Tron, holding it in a wallet that you control and using it to earn in all of these other ways, and at the same time benefit when it goes up in value. You're literally multiplying your ability to earn off of the one purchase. So Tron's increase. We talked about the fact that Tron right now is hovering around 7 cents. And there are many people that believe Tron has the capacity to go all the way up to 50 cents, even over $1 between now and the end of the year. So we'll see that huge increase in Tron. Well, I already told you about OSK and what our community goal is. Our community believes confidently that we can take the value of OSK from where it is today, it's around around $12, $13, and we can drive that value over $1,000. What makes us so confident that we could do that? Well, we've done it already. So this community, starting in October of last year, took a token, FIST token, FIST, which is still the governance token for this community, and drove that token from $50 to an all-time high of over $8,000, 16,000% increase. Currently trades today around $1,500. And that's a token that hasn't gone away. We simply use that token to mine the OSK that we're now building and supporting. And so it's all coming together. We'll talk a little bit more in detail in our Q&A section about that for you. And then the fifth way that you can earn is a short window of opportunity to mine NFTs. So now, between now and the end of the year, between now and December 31st, everybody that's joining and participating in our community, no matter how much you participate with, can be just a few dollars, can be a few $100s or a few $100,000. Whatever you decide to participate, you have the opportunity, as you're staking, providing liquidity with your OSK and TRX, to earn NFTs. The reason that's going to be really powerful for you is, if you remember just a few slides back, we talked about our future plans and projects. The next year, we're going to open a blockchain of our own in a decentralized exchange. And what's inevitably going to happen, because we will have accomplished our goal of growing an active, supportive community of over 1 million members, is that we know that we will create and attract developers that want to do business on our network. In fact, that's already happening. We're already in discussions with developers that are excited about what this community is creating. And when there's a community of 1,000 people and you're a developer and you need attention for your project, well, typically they give away airdrops. Airdrops are where you get free tokens. And if you're an NFT holder, then that gives you a VIP pass for free airdrops. What does that mean? It means that you're getting free crypto, some of which will take off and become amazing companies and amazing projects with huge values. Essentially, you're earning that for free while you're mining and staking NFTs. So that is an opportunity that just comes along with the whole package. This is the opportunity in short, 5 different ways that you can earn. There's 2 different things that we ask you to do to become a part of the Pangu community project. The first one is support OSK. Buy OSK and support it. And then help us to grow our community to 1 million members. So in purchasing OSK, you can purchase as little as $50, probably even less, but let's set your bar at $50 if you decided you wanted to start small, get your head wrapped around it. I promise you that if you hang out and you continue to listen to these discussions and you understand exactly what this community is doing and what we're about, that this is a long-term project and that the numbers just make a lot of sense, and we can dive into those specifics. Once you wrap your head around that, you might decide that you want to increase your investment, and you can always do that. You can add additional funds to this project at any time you choose to. But the most important part is to get started. Purchase OSK. The second most important thing that you can do, it's the only other thing that we ask you to do if you decide that you'd like to join, just share the vision. If it makes sense to you that a group of individuals that are passionate and focused come together with consensus and are growing actively and aggressively in numbers, if it makes sense to you that that group of people might just be able to take a token for a second time over $10,000 in increase in value, you might want to get on that ship. And now's a good time to do so and take the ride with us, and invite those that you love and care about to ride with you. Invite a couple friends or invite all of them. We're excited about what we're doing. This is intended to be a super quick overview to introduce you to the concept and introduce you to the community. If you decide that you want to get started, you want to follow the 3 simple steps to get going, you can do that at defi.10xcryptotraders.com. That address again is defi.10xcryptotraders.com. When you get there, site's going to look like this. At the very top, you can stay connected, and we'll put you on our mailing list, and we'll make sure that you keep up to date with everything that's going on. You can also click the link on the top right to join our Telegram group. We have an active and very, very supportive Telegram group where our community gathers. Tons of amazing people from all around the world there that are there to help educate, support, answer questions for you. If you'd like to share this opportunity with somebody that might not be able to make it to a live presentation, we have a recorded presentation here, and then all of our previously recorded calls as well. And then the 3 simple steps to getting started. Step 1, you're going to buy OSK. We have the instructions to do it with Token Pocket. Just watch this short video and it'll take you through those steps. The second step is to add OSK to the liquidity pool. Again, a super short video, less than 5 minutes. Follow those steps, very, very easy to do. Third step is mine OSK and start earning NFT energies. All the information you need is right here, the OSK contract address and the link to begin mining. That'll all make sense to you as you go through those 3 videos. And if you are familiar in the world of DeFi and getting a look at the smart contract, this company actually performed an audit, third-party audit on the project, and you can view the results of that audit right here as well. So we're very, very excited. We laid this out for you. Please take advantage of the resources available, whether it's through our site here or through our Telegram community. Just get involved, get yourself onto our calls, into our community, into the resources that we've provided for you so you get more comfortable, more familiar, more confident, so that if this is the ride that you want to take with us, you want to get involved in crypto, you want to do it with a group of people that are passionate and really excited about doing something meaningful in the world, we want to invite you to the Pangu Community Project. So we're going to take a break here.